Joining us now, NBC News national law enforcement and intelligence correspondent Tom Winter, retired NYPD detective and director of the Black Law Enforcement Alliance, Mark Claxton, and retired NYPD officer and policy director for R Street's Criminal Justice and Civil Liberties team, Jillian Snyder. And Tom, let's start with you. We're getting some new information here that at least part of this gun that this gunman used in his attack may have been given to him or provided by an associate?
Yeah, so I'll explain it. The weapon that was used here is what people call an AR-style assault rifle. It's basically the same thing twice. It's an assault rifle, right? And you can purchase an assault rifle legally, fully manufactured and ready to go. You just need to load the ammunition, get a round in the chamber, and then use the weapon. You can also buy parts of guns and kind of assemble what is the easiest way of referring to it, kind of a Frankenstein type of gun. So you might have a certain magazine or a certain type of ammo that you want to load into the receiver, the lower portion of the weapon, and then you might want to use a different top of the weapon, sometimes from the same manufacturer, sometimes from different ones. And so what the mayor is alluding to, it's our understanding based on the investigation, is that the bottom part was purchased by another individual. That does not mean it's an illegal purchase. So we're clear on this. I might say, hey, let's put a gun together this weekend. We both legally purchased the parts and we put that weapon together. And I say, well, I'll leave it in a hunting cabin. If you're going up this weekend, you can use it the next weekend. I'll go use it. And that's totally legal as well, as long as the parts are purchased correctly and within law and all that type of stuff. So that's one of the things that investigators are going to look into, which is this purchase. The handgun that was found in the vehicle I referenced last hour, that was purchased by the person who was responsible for the shooting. So that is what we know. I was kind of alluding to last hour that they were looking into the gun and the background on that and where all that was coming from. The mayor took where we were reporting and took it a step further. And so that's what they're looking into. Again, does that mean the individual committed a crime? No. But that's the type of work that occurs. I talked about it earlier today on MSNBC. It's the exact type of work that occurs at this stage in the investigation. Did anybody provide him this weapon? Did he take this weapon? And is there any further prosecution that needs to be made? Or is all of it above the board? All of that is work that the NYPD will do. And as I mentioned before, the NYPD, Las Vegas Police Department, great relationship. Those two departments work closely together. And I think what you're seeing here is exactly that.
Because, of course, the suspect traveled across state lines from Las Vegas to New York. And
Correct.
Jillian, of course, condolences to everyone on the force who's grieving this loss of Didarul Islam. He was a 3-year veteran of the force, had a third child on the way. Just first, your reaction to this.
Absolute tragedy. And it is not just an assault against an officer. It's an assault against the city of New York. It's an assault against all NYPD and everyone that supports them.
Mark, how critical or reliable is this note that the suspect apparently left behind, mentioning that he may have been suffering from CTE, that brain injury, due to some of his football playing days?
Well, that's going to be part of the investigation, this ongoing investigation. And I'm sure there'll be attempts at least to access some medical information related to the perpetrator of this offense. But those type of items and evidence are all part of a larger investigation to try to make sense, if that's possible at all. But more importantly, to come up with a clear explanation as to what occurred here, and most importantly, if there are things that we can do to prevent these type of tragedies from occurring in the future. And that relates not only to addressing issues of mental health, if that is a component of this, not only addressing issues dealing with weapons and firearms and ghost guns, but whatever comes up as a result of the investigation should be used to mitigate the type of damage that's being done here and prevent these things from happening in the future.
So, Jillian, from your experience, I think the question on everyone's mind is exactly what we just heard there. What can be done to prevent an attack like this? As of now, it appears to be a lone wolf attack. He traveled across state lines to enact this horror. So what can be done in policing to try to protect citizens from this?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to note that situations like this, tragedies like this, they are not common occurrences. Mass shootings or active shooter incidents, they're not something that happens normally. So I want to, rest assured to the public that they don't think this is a common occurrence, but something that, and I saw it all over the news this morning, it is to constantly be vigilant. Now, we can't predict what's going to happen. Law enforcement uses every tool that they have on their belt to try and ascertain threats before they become real. They try and deter crime from happening before it occurs. But in reality, what we need is the community support. We need people to call 911 if they find something to be suspicious. If you know someone that has, expressed anything that is making you a little weary or a little concerned, there's no trouble picking up the phone and calling 911. You are doing it as a concerned citizen. You're doing it as a caring friend. So I think everyone just needs to recognize that if someone they care about or know may be suffering from mental health issues and they may pose a threat to themselves or others, what they need to do is pick up the phone and call 911.
A very, very good reminder there. And with the little time we have left, Tom, this was, as you mentioned, an AR-style rifle that was used here. Governor Kathy Hochul is now renewing her calls for a nationwide ban on that type of gun. Do you think that we need better laws to protect from this type of assault in the middle of one of our biggest cities?
Can we take this show till 9 p.m.? Because I think there's a whole host of things that have been discussed over the years that just haven't really come to fruition. Look, the bottom line is this. If you were to ban sales of all assault rifles right this second in this country, and I'm not suggesting you do or don't, my opinion is irrelevant in the matter. The fact of the matter, though, is that there are so many assault rifles that are out there in circulation in so many state-by-state some people call them loopholes. Some people call them lawful ways to exchange guns, whatever they might be. There are so many that are out there. You'd have to engage in a nationwide effort to
get rid of all
of the assault rifles, and good luck with that.
Yeah.
I think that ship, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending however your views are, has sailed.
Yeah, well,
and that's the way law enforcement feels. To be clear, that's the position of law enforcement, that type of law at this stage, it might just be too late.
That's dire. But of course, in all of this, we have to think about not just the gun laws, but also, of course, these families that are aching today, and our hearts are with them as well. Tom Winter, Mark Claxton, and Jillian Snyder, thank you so much.